Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nourishing Soul. This is a place where we educate, we expand consciousness, and we enlighten, hopefully. I'm Mary Gundrum, your host of all things energy, good vibes, and growth. So I had plans on having a guest today, and it it didn't work out that way. He canceled last evening, and it was okay because this isn't the first time I had a guest that canceled. And I felt like, well, you know what? Maybe I am intended to do this podcast, this episode alone. So, with that being said, I had thought about talking about balance in this hectic life, which I will touch on later. But there are a lot of other things going on that I wanted to share with you. It's really important for me to be raw and authentic. Yes, I am a healer. I counsel people. I'm a gifted psychic, but I also am here having the human experience. So I'm affected by the curveballs that life throws at us sometimes. It really that we have many challenges which are stepping stones to growth. And the last couple of weeks has been huge challenges for me. Some of the events that I had tables at weren't well attended. I ended up, I don't necessarily go there thinking I'm going to make a huge profit. It's how I market, but I hope that my expenses are covered, and my expenses weren't covered at either event. Then the healing center that I do some work at, the classes and workshops haven't been attended very well, so we made a decision yesterday to cancel for the rest of the year. So it was just like boom, boom, boom. I just felt like everything that I was working towards or doing was getting pulled out from underneath me. And, we all do have struggles. And this time of year, financial struggles are one of the big ones. And not just this time of year, we've really been going through a lot of challenges in the financial world, and the expense of everything. So I wanted to share all that with you. And, you know, you're not alone out there. And I got some really great insight. I woke up at 4 a.m., which I don't normally do. Um, and I realized I didn't do my monthly newsletter, which is so unlike me. I usually have it all together and scheduled to go out on the first of the month. Which I didn't. With Thanksgiving and the holidays and different things that were going on, it got away from me. So I was laying there, and instead of allowing my human mind to reel out of control, I went into a meditative state. And in that state, I felt like I was free falling. It was just like I was just falling, that everything was just unraveling. And then I got gently caught. Like, if I can't explain it or use another word for it, but that's what it felt like. I was just grabbed and held. But then I was placed down and reminded to just allow and flow. And it was such a mystical, spiritual, enlightening moment because in the last couple of weeks, I've watched videos and heard other people speak about flowing and allowing to flow. So this morning, I was preparing for the newsletter, which will be coming out today. And if you're not on my list, reach out to me through my website, which I can put up here. Let's see, banners. Um, so reach out to me, and I'll add you to the newsletter list. So when I tap in, and I get Spirit's message, the message was to allow life to flow. And I thought, wow, you know, I thought I was doing that. And then you think about it, and it's like, well, in my conscious mind, yeah, I was good. I'm flowing, I'm letting things go, I'm trusting, I got my faith, I'm hanging in there, which I am in a lot of ways. But was I truly, because I got so caught up in all those things that I kind of was counting on that didn't work out? Well, I don't have control. We don't have control over everything. And our human being wants to have control. And, I used to say my life was difficult when I had my hands on the steering wheel and I was driving the bus. When I let go and allowed, it was easier. So it really is. But being here in this linear life, having this human experience, we get caught up. We get caught up in, even though you can have a practice as I do. I practice every day. I do my contemplative prayer, my meditation, I journal, I stay plugged in, but I still can get tripped up. And that's why I felt like this all happened. The guest canceling, the experiences I've been having, my meditation enlightenment moment early this morning, this all happened on purpose, divine order, whatever you want to call it, because I needed to share this message out there. Because even if only one person gets something from this, then it's meant to be. And just by sharing it, my experience gets so much greater. And that's why I really do truly love what I do. And I have when I see people in person, I always say, "Would you like a hug?" Because I don't invade space without permission. And the thing that I always say is so beautiful about a hug is that you can't give one without receiving one. And that's how I feel about sharing my experiences. If I give my experiences to others, then I get to share in the joy and the growth and the enlightenment and the understanding that it gives to another person. So it really is a challenge, but really work on that. Um, are you allowing life? Are you floating and allowing it to flow? Because it's going to happen no matter what we do. And we look through our lives and the things in the past, and you think about, and I used to tell my son this, um, think about the times in your life, those moments where you thought you were never going to get through it, and you worried and you stressed, and you worried and you stressed, and guess what? That didn't change what happened. You made it through it. And that worry and that stress only made you sick and old. Worry and stress only ages us, makes us sick. There is no purpose in it, but that's that human mind. That's that human, I got to have control. I need to know the answers. I need to know the outcome. And that's not what it's about. Not at all. Not at all. It's about trusting and having that faith, that balance, that understanding that there is a force greater than us, whatever you choose to call it. And it's really being exposed to us in this world today. Um, I mean, if you stay away from mainstream media and all the stuff that's going on, because it's not truth anyway, you hear something, if you wait 48 hours, 72 hours, then something else comes out. So you're on this yo-yo of, what's truth, what's not truth. And I feel like this is all, well, I know because everything is in divine order. This is all occurring for us. And we're going to see a lot of things that we never expected to see. Who's really pulling the puppet strings here? What's really going on in this world? It's really a good time, an exciting time to be alive if you allow, if you flow, and you release that control. It's, and I've talked about this. I've talked about this on this show. I've talked about it on my old show about, we're so programmed to believe that our happiness is based on something outside of ourselves. We always are looking for those things to validate us, our acceptance of others, and none of that matters. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I used to get so nervous because I did have another show a few years ago, and I used to get so nervous on it. My hair look good, my makeup right, how am I dressed, do I have the right jewelry on, and it didn't matter. It's like when I first started speaking in public too. I realized that. And if there, and I'm sure there's people out there that judge, and they're fine. That's their journey. That's their trip. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me what other people think about me. What matters to me is what I think about me. So when I started to speak in public, I realized that what was important was the message that I had to share with people. They weren't there to see me. They were there to hear the message. And that's how I feel about this. And, it's like I could have very easily said, yeah, I'm not going to do a show today. But it's sometimes we just have to get up, dress up, and show up, even when we're just floating, not knowing the direction, not knowing what's going to happen next. But we have to be there. We have to be present in the now and just allow. Embrace the moment. Embrace where you're at. It might not be what in our human minds we think, where we were going to be, the 5-year plan. I mean, how many people out there spent all the money to go to college? They got their degree in whatever it may have been and ended up not even working in that field, or working in that field and realizing that it wasn't what they expected or what they wanted. But, we do those things because we're programmed to believe that we need to do those things. We're programmed to believe that, oh, yeah, you got to go get that education, or you're not going to be this, or you're not going to be that. And, the line of work that I'm in is very different because I'm very spiritual. And the gifts that I have and the things that I share, even though I do have an education in spiritual counseling and I am an ordained spiritualist minister, they're not the things that make me who I am or give me the ability to do what I do. Every challenge that I've had in my life has brought me to where I need to be. Even when I studied CEUs with the counseling, I would pick something up and not knowing why, but I would take the course. And then the next client that would come in, I was like, oh, yeah, you're the one. You're the one that I studied that for. So, we just have to feel and flow and just allow, because that's when life is beautiful. When we do those things, when we allow life to just flow. And the demands we make on ourselves, especially this time of year, because of traditions, families, holidays, sadness around the holidays, all of these things put so much pressure on us, and it's not necessary. I moved back to New Jersey a couple of years ago, and since I've been back, because I was raised here, and my parents have been gone for many years now, uh, I found that last year and this year, I have really missed them through the holidays, even though I know they're present, because we continue to live this because we're the soul that continues to live. The body dies. So I know that they're present and they're closer and freer because they're not in the aging physical human body any longer. But for us still here, there's a sadness of that, hey, you can't pick up the phone, or you can't, break bread at the holidays with them, but they are present, and we have to remember that. So this time of year, there's a lot that we put on ourselves. We put out on ourselves of keeping those traditions, or you're going to let the family down. And, those Norman Rockwell paintings of the family around the table. And the world is so different now. Families live in different states. They're all over. We're spread out everywhere. It's what's inside. It's in the heart that's important. So, with that being said, are you balanced in your life? Or are you stressed out, worried, forcing, overdoing, overachieving to create a holiday that really doesn't matter? Because it's not about the fancy meals, it's not about the stuff under the tree. It's about the people and the energy, the souls. Those, when I say people, it's not just those that are still here, it's those that have departed this earth as well, that surround us. That's what's important. So I know so many people, especially women, because we are caregivers. Not saying that I don't want to upset any of the men out there, because there's a lot of men that provide and do all the things that they do, and they're stressed in a different way. But we're a little off balance. We're definitely off balance as a society, as a country, as a world in general. But at a personal level, where is your balance? Where are you in imbalance? What tends to throw you off? And is it physical? Is it emotional? I feel emotional usually comes first and then manifests in physical form. So we have to be very mindful of those things. So, if you Google, there's the Wheel of Life. There's so many different ones out there and different ways of doing it. But I like the tool because it gives us a visual of where we are in our lives. That pie, how much time is being spent at work, or come home and still be at work and not being fully present with your children or your family? Are you spending time in that self soul care time which I feel is the same? Are you remembering to stay in gratitude? Are you remembering to pray? Are you remembering to get your journal out and write those things? So, getting priorities straight is very important. So, what's urgent, what's important, where do we have to put those things? Boundaries and limits are another thing. And I'm working with a client now that struggles with this. Scrolling, playing games, getting way off. And there's a time, if you want to play a game, go play a game. I mean, I do it myself. I put puzzles together. I like to do different things, but there's time for all of that. And that's the thing, is your time being spent, budgeted the way it should be. It's like you can't write checks on an empty checkbook. So are you an empty checkbook? Or are you spreading yourself out too thin? So, and it's also the energy management. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you moving properly? Are you nourishing yourself properly? All of these things will help you balance your life. And, it's how we respond to things. It's really is. I want to just answer see, I'm doing it all alone here, folks. So um, I just wanted to answer somebody's little comment there. So we really have to look at those things and where we are balancing. Where's our mindset? Are we compassionate for ourselves? Are we flexible with ourselves? Or do we just, beat ourselves up? Because our self-talk is brutal. If you stop and listen to how you speak to yourself, I always say, you shouldn't talk to yourself with anything less than you would talk to a 6-year-old child. Kind, compassionate, caring, loving. That's us. We need to be that for us. Us first, that saying, you can't pour from an empty pitcher. So another thing with balancing in our lives is time blocking. And we do all have these smartphones. They have schedules in them, calendars. Schedule that time. Schedule that time for yourself. You don't have a problem scheduling time for everything else. Make yourself a priority, because you are the priority. We are those spiritual beings, and we need to be the priority. And if you need help, delegate it. I mean, there. All right. So this goes back to allowing and flowing, because we can be so much in need of control that it's like, I'll just do it myself because then it'll get done right. No, I'll just make it. How many times have you done that? Ask yourself those questions. Am I doing that to myself? Am I creating this imbalance because of my need for control? It's insane, the things that we do to ourselves. It's insane. So be mindful of that. Ask yourself that. So delegating the help, managing the digital distractions, whatever that may look like for you. And when an email comes in, and I run a business, you don't have to jump and answer it right away. I always say, if you answer within a 24-hour period, you're good. I mean, how many times do you call a business and you leave a message and they get back to you when they get back to you? The digital world is a blessing and a curse. I mean, we have so much ready at us all the time that it really does knock us off balance if we don't stay mindful and present and in the now. So another thing is stress reduction. So when I was mentioning the self-care, soul care, the journaling, the mindfulness, breathing, Most of us run around shallow breathing. Our creator gave us these big, beautiful lungs. Fill them up with air. That pumps the oxygen into the bloodstream. It's so important. Move. Make sure that you are moving your body, not just sitting all the time. I just heard, I do some exercises on YouTube, and there's a girl, she's in Australia. It's Eline, Elige. I don't remember how to spell it, but she just did a video, or I just saw the video about there's statistics that we die first in our legs. And that makes so much sense because that's where we pump, our calf muscles pump, the lymphatic system, all of that brings it back to the heart, all of these things. And we are a society of sitting. I mean, look at the drive-throughs. You don't even get out of your car to get something to eat, which is another whole topic, which could be another whole show if we get on the food thing. So you have to identify the areas of activity. So we have work, home, physical growth, relationships, and that's, I'm going to go back to that wheel of life. You can put your categories in wherever you want, whatever it is that you do, and look at the time. Where's the time spent? Is it balanced? We have all these real life things that are happening and coming at us, but we can do it in a more healthy, balanced way. And I really ask you all, you are worth it. You are all so worth it, each and every one of us, to take that time to fill that gap, to find the balance, to know who we are. So, create that, remove, reduce the things that are not needed. Look at your well being, set boundaries for yourself and for others, because a lot of people like to project themselves into our worlds and into our lives, but they can only do that if we allow it. So be mindful of that and be accountable. Check in with yourself. Are you doing what you need to do? It's not selfish to take care of self. It's selfish to allow us to fall apart so we can't take care of others. So remember that. We have to take care of ourselves first. So as usual, when I do a show by myself, I usually only run about 30 minutes, but there's a couple of things I wanted to make you aware of. I am running a big discount for the holidays. All of my readings are 50% off. I also have packages for counseling. I offer free consultation calls, and they are free. There's no strings attached. If you want somebody to talk to, get on my website and schedule one of those. If you don't have the money, I will talk to you. I don't want you to feel like you're out there alone. I also have gift certificates available at the 50% off, and there are no expiration dates on them. So take advantage of that while I'm running that, and it's going to go through till the end of this year. So grab them, the gift certificates. Get one for yourself for the future. Get, for gifts. You'll get them in an email, and then you can print them and put them in a card, or you can just email them as the gift. So if you need guidance, or you know someone that would benefit from it, don't hesitate. Take advantage of the sale. So, and my website is there, www.wellnessmary.com. My email is mary@wellnessmary. If you would like to get on my newsletter, or you have any suggestions for topics, or anything that you would like to see, or, anything, just reach out and let me know. The other thing is, I have Buy Me a Coffee. I'm going to put that up right now. If you care to help support the channel, I greatly appreciate it. I am a one-woman show, so If you have, and again, if you have any suggestions, or are really techie and you see ways that I can market or do something better, um, again, reach out to me and let me know. I greatly appreciate it. I really, truly love what I do, but I can't do it unless the people find me, if they're not here. And I do the best I can to get myself out there. And starting the show is a big thing for me. It takes time. It took time to get it together. I had intentions, and here we go with allowing life to flow, because I had all intentions to get this started a couple of months ago, and it wasn't time. And I just said, you know what? It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It's going to play out the way it's supposed to play out. And here it is. I'm reaching people. And that's what's important, because I do feel that my message is helpful. Maybe not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, nor do I want to be. Do I think I have all the answers? Absolutely not. I'm here having a learning experience with y'all. So enjoy it. Enjoy this life. Flow with this life. Things will work out. They always do. So I want to wish you many blessings. Next week, I again will be alone, um, most likely. I'm not going to advertise anything anymore. I'm just going to let it happen as it happens, because it's just, that's the way it is. The more I plan, you can plan plans, but not results, right? So I wish you all many blessings, and I will see you soon. I hope to hear from you. Thank you very much.